So I have just finished this book here, which is The Ascendants by Jazza Brooks. And if you haven't heard of him, he is a pretty big YouTuber who I first came across when he was doing drawing tutorials quite a long time ago, and now he has delved into the world of writing novels. And for a debut novel, this is pretty darn good. I watched his announcement video for this, and something he kept coming back to is how advice he was getting from other writers is that your first novel is always going to be bad, just get it out there and then move on to the next one. And he didn't accept that. He decided he wanted to put as much effort into this first novel and try to make it as perfect as it possibly could be from day one, and he achieved it in my opinion. To give you the premise of the story, there is a mining colony on a planet, and they're very deep underneath the core of this planet, mining for some kind of material, and there is an outbreak of insect-like alien creatures, and it's following two main characters who are obviously trying to get away from the outbreak and back to the surface, and two people that can save them. But when the people who they think are going to save them turns up, things get a little bit more complicated. So it does have some quite heavy horror elements. It's definitely a book for adults. There's lots of gruesome details that are described, but there's also some really wide and rich world building outside of this planet to learn more about the universe as a whole, and I do believe he's going to be writing more stories in this universe as well, so we'll be able to see more of it. I gave this book 4 stars out of 5, which is pretty darn good for my ratings. This is in line with quite a lot of the Brandon Sanderson Cosmere books and the Joe Abercrombie books, and sort of at that level, and they're obviously extremely successful writers. And if this is his debut novel, I have no doubt he's going to be as successful as them if he continues down this road. But I do know he does a load of other things as well with his YouTube channel, so I'm not sure how much more effort he's going to be putting into writing novels. When I actually started this book, there was a period at the beginning where I didn't think it was going to be for me. The characters seemed to be very one-dimensional. Just to give you an idea of what was in my head at the time, there's a character who has respiratory problems and a disability, and he is always looked sort of down on and is trying to prove himself. And then he has a bigger sister who's always trying to protect him, and then there's like a school bully sort of character, and all of this gave me very big like teenage or young adult vibes, and I wasn't really sure if this was going to be for me. But then when there was the inciting incident, and with all the chaos happening after these creatures turned up, there's some very gruesome descriptions that made it very clear it wasn't for young adults and wasn't for teenagers and was for adults. There's some pretty big twists and turns as well, and complete deviations in the story that make it more interesting for me. So if you're the same as me and you start reading it and you're like, oh, I'm not sure if I really care about this whole school bully situation, just get through that. It's a very short part of the beginning of the story, and then it does get very exciting onwards. And at about 3/4, there's a huge shock moment, which I wasn't expecting at all, and the way that Jazza described it made it very easy to imagine what was going on. And yeah, it was really cool. I can't really say much more without spoiling it, but yeah. One area I was really impressed with for a debut author was the world building element, especially as the story itself is sort of enclosed in this mining colony on this one planet, and a lot of it is underground as well. You still get to learn a lot about the wider world and the magic system as such. And all the way till the end of the book, you're still learning more and more and more, which just gets you more excited to delve back into this universe when he gets to his next novel. I really just wanted to make this video to shine a bit of a spotlight on this book, because I do think more people, especially if you're into sci-fi and if you're into like the alien films, you're definitely going to like this book. So just go and pick it up. I'll put a link down in the description so you can go and check it out. And also just a round of applause for Jazza Brooks for putting out such a good book as your first book. It's very impressive what he was able to do in just, I think it's 409 pages, so not like a massive book either. And if he continues with this novelist's career, I think he is definitely going to do big things.